Hey, what's up everybody? It's Paul Shakuri here with another door-to-door mastery video. Now in this video, I'm going to answer a quick question that I got a couple weeks back. It may even been a month. I'm getting through all the questions, filtering through, responding to some of your guys' emails, and also creating videos on ones that I believe there's quite a bit of content I actually want to get into in detail. And this one comes from Adam, and Adam actually says, first of all, Paul, I love your videos. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. Hope they're entertaining and exciting at the same time, because if they're not, well, quite simply, I'm going to make it that way. The best thing I've learned is just to go on the fly and make it as real as it gets, because once all the editing goes in and all that other stuff, it becomes a headache and a hassle getting the lighting right and whatnot. But you know what? We're just going to go on the fly and keep these coming. So if you guys want questions answered, fire them over to pshack@doortodoormastery.com or my support team, support@doortodoormastery.com, and they will get those questions over to me. Okay, so Adam goes, first of all, I love your videos and your podcast. Before I get in further, I actually want to tell you guys something that unfortunately the podcast got hit with. We had a ton, in the hundreds of 5-star likes on iTunes, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like iTunes reset all the 5 stars, and now it's like down to I think 15, 20 the last time I checked it out. So all of you who actually left me that 5-star review on iTunes, it would mean the world. Ultimately, just please show me how much you actually care, because I ultimately do care, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, to help you out and assist you with becoming a better door-to-door salesperson. So all that I ask in return for this video is for you to just head on to iTunes and look for Door-to-Door Mastery. And for those who don't know that I actually have a Door-to-Door Mastery podcast, you can listen on iTunes, Stitcher, and whatnot to the actual Door-to-Door Mastery show. And by the way, more content is coming. I haven't made a podcast in quite a bit. I've been extremely busy with my software company and so much more. And as a matter of fact, I will release some more information as it is completed. But I closed the largest with obviously my team, not myself, but we closed literally the largest deal that I've ever closed by a long shot in my life. And we did it because we've now built a platform to where the largest companies in the industry actually come to us and say, hey, we need your time, and your time obviously is money, so we can prioritize certain things. And you guys will hear a little bit about that. And keep in mind, I'm telling you this because, folks, I started off knocking on doors, door-to-door sales. I started off, I recall my first door knocking on, it was like, this is something I want to do because I want to eventually build business. I want to build money, a financial stream that I can then take in and then reinvest into other stuff. And that's exactly who I look for. Every time I do these videos, it's not just a video to get somebody what they need and see you later, goodbye. I'm looking to hook people in so that they basically learn and educate themselves and come back to all the videos and subscribe, to my YouTube channel. And then on top of that, they go, look, now that I've learned and acquired the skills that it takes to make money doing door-to-door, I can go out there and help other people, and also myself, I can grow my bank account. That's stuff that I want from each individual of you. So that's why you'll see a lot of people are raving fans saying, dude, I love your podcast. I love your energy. I love your excitement. Hey, I just love what I do. And in return, I'm going to continue. So I know I tend to ramble a lot. I get excited when I make these videos, but let me dive on in. So he goes, I watch and listen every day, and, I've learned something new every day. Well, Adam, that's definitely something. Repetition is the key to mastery. You listen to something over and over again. You're going to hear it more and more often. You're going to get it. You're going to go out there. You're going to implement. You're going to fall on your face. And then you're going to realize, oh, wait, this is something that I'm actually learning and doing more of, and getting more questions and more questions answered on the same content that I watched from the beginning. So let's dive into the meat. Now, I've been knocking on doors for a few weeks now, and I'm getting pretty confident in my opener pitch. And I got into quite a few homes, but I keep encountering the same problem over and over again. And he says, I sell home security and home automation systems door to door. I sit down with potential customers, and after 20 to 30 minutes of engaging them, they tell me the exact same thing over and over again. We love the system, it's great, and the level of protection is amazing, but we'll definitely get it in a few weeks. I just don't have the money right now. So are you being faced with this with the products that you sell, the products and services that you guys sell? I'm going to place this in my holder right here, right now, and dive into just a little bit of content on this stuff. So let me just put that there, and let's go into that. So, he's getting into homes. So Adam's over here. And he's going out there and he's knocking on doors. And understand something, when he's going out and knocking on doors, he gets people who are coming out, engaging with him, and allowing him to go into the property. You see, depending on what you sell door to door, and in this case, we're talking about home security. Okay, so we're talking about home security. The number one place where you want to get into in order to get your deals closed is inside the customer's property. And the reason why you actually want to do this is because that's where we do our in-house demonstration, our in-house presentation. And by the way, I've also learned a lot of people who watch these videos are actually homeowners themselves. Some are happy, some are pissed off, saying, oh, you're teaching tactics for true entrepreneurs to come talk to me at the freaking doors. Listen, don't get upset when a door knocker knocks on your door. Look at the economy and look how we can have less lazy people and more people on the streets. Now, however, I train and teach people to ethically sell door to door by understanding what the homeowner's needs are. Their basic, what goes on in the psychology of sales. You see, these exact same people who are going to be knocking on doors right now, just like Adam, for example, are the exact same people who are going to get great at doing it. And when I mean great at doing it, it means communicating and talking and sales in general, and eventually going on to building his own company and growing to God knows how big. And when he does, what do you think he needs? He needs people. He needs to recruit or, find other employees so he can stimulate the economy. Listen, homeowners, trust me when I say this. Do not put up with shady or reps that obviously come to the door and are very rude with you, but listen to the next door knocker that knocks on your door and is actually polite. And you will find out that you can work out a wonderful deal with a product and service if you just give them the time and day. So check this out. He knocks on the door and now he's getting to the point where he's getting inside the house to do his in-house demonstration, presentation. For example, if you're doing pest control, you may need to get into the backyard. You may need for them to come out of the house so you can show them trees, shrubs where, scorpions or whatever stick around, spiders underneath, whatever it is. You need to take your potential customers and show them exactly what and where your product and services go so you can attach what I'm going to talk about, a set value to what you're about to sell them. So let's talk about this. He's getting inside the house, which means he's personable. And number one, he's getting people to like him, because I assure you, if somebody does not like you, they will not talk to you. The first thing, you got to get people to like you. You're a door-to-door salesperson. Heck, even if I knocked on door right now and somebody came out, they're not going to go, oh, dude, that's that door-to-door mastery guy. Everybody says yes to him. I'm going to let him in. No, it's not the case. It's what I do in that moment that gets them from, hey, you know what are you doing? To all the way liking me, trusting me, letting me in, and eventually doing business with me. So let's talk about this. This is awesome. I got my blood going now, so I'm excited. Number one, you got to get them to like you. And number two, what you got to do is get them to trust you. You see, once you get their like to where they actually like you, they're going to start saying, okay, Adam, let me hear a little bit more on what you actually have to offer because you piqued my interest. And by the way, I could tell you're not such a crazy person or somebody who's possibly out there to scam me. Maybe, I'm going to hold my guard up, but there might be a possible chance about that, but more likely not. So I actually like you. Tell me more. Yeah, absolutely. This is what we're doing out here in the neighborhood. He's going through his opener pitch, which he said he got better at. And by the way, if you guys are not good at your opener pitch, I have hours of content on doortodoormastery.com. You can enter on the side or even on this video. For example, if you're looking on YouTube, just click the link in the description and you can enter your name and email address, and instantly you'll get access to my 3 free video training series teaching you everything about your opener pitch, features and benefits, the close, and so much more. So if you haven't grabbed that already, go grab it. I go through a lot of the stuff in detail, and you actually see me in front of a group actually training and teaching and educating, okay? So like and trust. So now he's there. He's better at his opener pitch. And now that he's inside the house, which means they're open to taking a look more at what the products and services can do. So what does he do? He gets in the property, he goes, and he starts doing his presentation. And Adam, this is where you start to go a little bit, okay, let me be upfront. This is where you start to go wrong. You do a lot of things right, but you also start to go a little bit wrong. And with understanding where you're going wrong, correcting it, I will guarantee you, and I'm telling you this, because I had this exact same problem. And by the way, I coach and train thousands, now over 10,000 people, not just on YouTube, but even on my door-to-door mastery blog. I coach over 10,000 people, training them how to overcome these things. So here's what you have to do. When you enter the house, the first thing, and by the way, you're selling residential and commercial security. So what is the first thing that is going to happen inside their house? They have a door, and you need to protect their property with what? A door sensor. So I guarantee you, you're going in and saying, yeah, a door sensor. We're going to put a door contact just right here and right here. And let's go take a look at your back door. You're rushing through that process too quick without doing this. Asking the client if what you just said makes sense, but then re-verifying that they really did make sense of it. Let me make sense of that. So you get in the house and you're like, by the way, Mr. Prospect, let me show you this. What we're going to do on this door right here is we're going to secure this door. And how we do it, let me first of all ask you, and I get them engaged. I say, let me ask you, how do you think we would secure this door? And they will come up with a million different things. And then you start going in and saying, you know what, that's actually a really good way, or maybe, no, not really. Be yourself, be personable, never lie, cheat, and steal from anybody. But go like this, say, okay, I totally understand now how you're thinking the security system works. Let me show you how it actually functions. We do this, we do this. And when this happens, this is how our products and services would actually work if we were to secure and protect this door. And not if, when we secure this actual door. And by the way, do you know how this device actually communicates with the others? No, not really. Okay, so let me show you this. And then you start moving forward. You see, you are just moving a little too quick in your presentation. And even when I say moving too quick, if you're in the house doing 20 to 30 minutes, it's not necessarily that you're moving too fast as of time-wise. It's just the traction you're getting with that potential customer is not up to the par of what you need to do. So how do you do this? So after I just explained, for example, this door contact, I ask these questions. Number one, did that make sense? Okay, and I'll say, does that make sense? And then here's what a lot of people lose out on. The customer goes, oh yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. And they go, okay, cool, let's go to the next contact. No, if they say yes, okay, they can either say no, maybe, or they can say, absolutely yes, that makes sense. Well, guess what? If they say yes, or even no or maybe, you got to reiterate when they're saying no or maybe, you got to go over it again. You got to say, okay, if yes, then... And by the way, you can tell I own a security company. You can tell I own a software company. It's basically all what if scenarios. If this, then that. So check this out. This is how my brain functions. If they say yes, then. Well, yes, that makes sense. Okay, just to validate. Okay, you have to validate that what you said makes sense to them. And if it does, then have them repeat to you exactly what you need to hear about that product. Now, you need to do that with each individual product you're doing throughout. You need to do that with each individual product you're doing throughout your presentation. So it's like, okay, yes, validation, number one, yes, that product or service does function just the same way as you basically explained it. And then I will, after getting validation, so maybe they may say it in a way where they get maybe 50%, 60% of it. I always go, okay, that is kind of how it works, but let me show you this. There's actually a couple more things, and let me re-explain. Remember when I said this? Picture this. You see, sales is all about the transfer of energy and the transfer of emotions. When you bring things to life, people want to do business with you. And people go, oh my God, I take a look at all the other people, doing door-to-door training online. Why do people come to me? Number one, I know my shit. As you know, I've been knocking on thousands of doors and I've closed thousands of sales and I've built businesses like other people in my space have not. So I'm not just talking based off of fluff, that shit that I don't know about. I'm talking directly to the person doing door-to-door sales, because I was in there for 12 years knocking on doors, getting rejected my first couple of years over and over again. I wasn't somebody who started off doing well at this stuff. Like, I was a guy who was okay, then took off after I figured out what was going on. And I just so happened to be what I personally believe in, what the other 10,000 plus people believe, is that I'm a pretty good teacher at this stuff. So I get very technical and detailed with this. And the best part is you don't have to know everything to start closing deals, hence why you're actually out there, Adam, and you're still closing deals. But the best part is the more you learn, the better you get. Those 4 out of 5, you're going to get 4 out of 5, as opposed to getting rejected 4 out of 5, or even 3 out of 5. That's still better. That's 3 deals a day. And that's where ultimately you want to be. So once we get that validation and they're like, dude, absolutely. Okay, that makes sense. And you validate that, yeah, they understand completely about that. The next thing you want to do is tell them. So ultimately, compare, okay? So it's always in sales, after you got your validation that it makes sense and they can reply to you exactly what you know about your products and services, you want them to understand the before and after. So you want to get into the before and after, okay? What does that mean? Before having your product versus after having your product. So, Mr. Prospect, right now, if somebody were to enter into your property, this is how it would function. Let's do a scenario. Let's be visual with this person. Okay, so somebody enters your property, no sirens going off, burglars are rushing through. As a matter of fact, grab a couple videos, tell them, look, I'm not here to, and this is the reality, this is the truth. This is not something that you're lying, cheating, or scamming, or ripping somebody off. This scenario can happen. It can happen. Somebody can break into their property, jack their stuff, and God knows, dealing with insurance companies, if things that cannot be, cannot be replaced, won't be replaced or found. Look, you have to get passionate about what you sell. And from what you're telling me, Adam, I can tell you're extremely passionate about what you sell. Make these corrections. Come back and go at the end and finalize it with this. So let me tell you this. Now that I explained this, this, and this, do you know and see the difference between your property, how it is right now in its current state, the before phase, okay? Compare it to the after phase of if you were to now, not if, and again, when, and I correct myself and catch myself when I do these things, but when we secure your property, okay, that now if an intrusion were to happen into this, do you see how this scenario would happen? And I don't want to get into too much technicals into the security side. And by the way, yes, I do have a security training course that is coming. A lot of the people that use philquick.com, my software company, are asking me, Paul, please put together this information for security, home security sales. So it's coming. We are building it and working on it, which is great, and it will be released. I can't just say quite yet when, but picture in the next couple months, it will be released. But when you actually have your before and after, and then you start going in to saying, okay, now check this scenario out, don't you think that you can see yourself benefiting from having this? It's night and day, the response different. All of a sudden, this 4 out of 5 people saying they don't have money, they find the money for it, okay? I'm not telling you to take food off people's table, but here's what I'm going to leave you with. Let me ask you this. Those 4 out of 5 people every single day that own their own house, that are rejecting you and saying they don't have the money. Let me tell you, do you personally believe that they're spending about a coffee a day out there somewhere that they could technically either cut back on that to get the security system, because this means more than that cup of coffee that's probably not even good for them every single day? Or also on the other side, if, for example, the mortgage company, whether it's Bank of America, Wells Fargo, you name it, they pick up the phone and they say, hey, Mr. Prospect, let me tell you something. Your insurance, your mortgage just went up by, oh, by the way, $60 a month right now. Would that kick out Mr. Prospect in and from their house? Did that make sense? If the mortgage company called them right now and said, hey, your mortgage just went up by $60, would that kick them and send them out of their property going into foreclosure? Look, correct these things and you will see instant results. All of a sudden, people will find out as to why they cannot live a day without this. All these things are taught in my masterd2d.com program. Also, if you are thinking when I do grab and make sure that I get this released, the home security product that's going to come out, that's going to teach you and train you, that you guys want to grab that as well, you're going to have the base knowledge of what's going on behind the doors, and all this stuff and so much more in hours of content is taught in my masterd2d.com program. But first, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. Also, don't forget the link in the description if you want my free 3-video series course, which will teach you hours of content. You can click on that, enter your name and email address, and instantly you'll get access to the first video. And each day my team sends out the next video directly to your inbox, okay? So if you want to learn how to sell more deals door to door, make sure you don't forget to check out my blog and click on the link in the description. Smash that subscribe and see you in that next video. Thank you so much, Adam, for reaching out. Bye-bye.